Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Very nice to be back. Hope you had a restful weekend. I must apologize for not doing the card of the day for Friday. It's just been a little bit crazy, and I've had a lot of emergency readings coming through for people who needed some urgent assistance. So please forgive me, but we're back into another week. I still have some emergency readings to go, and tonight will be the Equinox energy sessions as well. So yes, please bear with me tomorrow because I will probably be terribly exhausted, but I will make sure that I get the card of the day out for you on the Telegram app or the Telegram channel and on Reddit and everywhere else that I post the card of the day. All right, so quick recap from last week. I was told I need to recap on the actions we were supposed to take. When we got advice on how to handle the week, we were told to listen, to be persistent, to clear and shield our energy. I don't know if any of you did that. It would be a good idea to take a salt bath or something like that. If you're not sure how to do that, I have posted links to that on my other YouTube. I've done a YouTube video for how to take a salt bath, how to take a salt shower. If you need the links and you can't find them, message me. I'll send them through to you. No problem at all. But there's different ways to do it as well. And you can obviously use things like smudge sticks. Here I have one that I use all the time. Okay, to burn, and this is not necessarily a white sage smudge stick. I make smudge sticks from scratch with lavender, rosemary, cedar, all kinds of things that are still very protective, very cleansing, and work very well when I do cleansing myself. Okay, so try to do those kind of things, even doing something like tidying up. Okay, if you don't want to burn incense or do any kind of cleansing and you don't want to take a salt bath, just clean and tidy up, spring clean. That can get the energy moving around. All right, and open your heart to love. So this is to look at things from a loving perspective, forgiveness, compassion, all of those things where we can apply it, clear our energy. It makes it much easier to open our hearts when our energy is clear, when we're not feeling scattered or really dense from all the stuff that we deal with. Persistence and listening. Okay, instead of having our word all the time, trying to squeeze it in there, which I think we're all guilty of at some point, try to listen. So I think that is carrying through to this week still, because I was told to recap on those. All right, let's see what's going to come up for this week. I'm going to be using the Carl Gray's Keepers of the Light. All right, and we're going to see what comes up with that. Okay, so if you're new here, what I usually ask is what is most important for us to know right now? What are the energies that are around us for this week? And what action can we take to get through the week and use it most productively? All right. Okay, what do we need to know most importantly this week right now, please, about the energies and how we should handle the week? Here's the first one. Kuan Yin. Okay, I just spoke about this. Compassion and care. Kuan Yin was, she's very famous for care and compassion and for always being the one who was, turning the other cheek, so to speak. And that's not something that I would really advocate all the time, because that opens us up for other people to abuse us as well. But she really does choose love in every situation. If we speak our truth and we still say things that are hurting us or whatever the case is, but we say it from a place of love and we're not aggressive about it, and we come across in a way that is gentle, a lot of the time that's when we find resolution. Okay, so it says, do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. All right. She had so much care and compassion. I'm just thinking of her story. Her brother went, and out of jealousy, she loved silk, and she had a whole field of silkworms, and he went and he set her field of silkworms alight. And he said, I think something to the effect of, like everything she loved, he went and destroyed. He went and he set all her horses free so they could run away. He burnt her field of silkworms down, and she still had this care and compassion and love for him, and she still managed to forgive him because she saw that the root of it was his anger and his pain. So she is really a beautiful example of that care and compassion. Okay, what else? What else do we need to know right now, please? Freya. All right, Freya is a Norse goddess. I think some of you may be familiar with her because they've very much put the Norse pantheon into the limelight with shows like The Last Kingdom and Vikings. And Freya is a goddess of many different things. All right, she's seen as the mother goddess. You could liken her to, for instance, Isis and Mother Mary. She's that same kind of mothering energy, but she also was associated with war and with magic and all of these kind of things, and also fertility, looking after women, looking after children. She's the one that you often see who has cats with her as well. And this is saying this is a beginning within, sorry, there is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. This is very interesting because today is the equinox. And this is literally phases and cycles. We have to be very, very mindful of today. All right, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going into a cycle of spring, rebirth, fertility, abundance. This is a great time to be manifesting things. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going into the quieter cycles of autumn and winter. But again, today is a new moon and it's the equinox. And when we have a new moon, it's a reset. Okay. And she's literally saying here, there is a beginning within every ending. So this is a time to end old habits, old mindsets, old behaviors, old grudges. Again, coming from this care and compassionate place, because when you are holding on to anger and hate and all of these things, you're the only one holding on to it, and it can really be like something just eating away at you all of the time. It's not good for you. It can eventually manifest physically. A lot of things like gout and this kind of thing are manifestations or contribute to, things like, sorry, not contribute to, but they stem from things like anger and resentment that we hold within our body. You can't be holding everything in all the time because it does manifest physically. All right, so close the cycle, release things. Even if you do some kind of a little personal ritual for yourself, write down all the things that you hate, that you have loathing for, that you hold resentment for. Write it on a piece of paper and burn it and let it go up into the ether. And say, okay, I'm done with that. There it is, it's gone. Something so simple can have a profound effect for you and can bring major shifts. Okay, don't underestimate it. Give it a try. All right, illusions are revealed and released. That's a very good thing as well. Sometimes that can be difficult. All right, maybe there's something that you need to find out or something that you needed to be honest about and you haven't been honest about. That could even be with yourself. Like if you say, oh, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, I'll sort it out later. Maybe you're avoiding something. It's going to hit you between the eyes and say, this is the time for your avoidance to be over. Deal with it. Okay, so I would rather you embrace that with a state of positive expectancy and actually directing your energy, setting intentions and being intentional with leaving that stuff behind and saying, okay, I've got to face it, I've got to put my big girl panties on, okay, and just deal with it because it needs to be done. This is the energy. It's the end of a cycle, whether we like it or not. And I've had a lot of clients message me this morning talking about having interesting dreams. This is the type of time when you would have that because you have this new moon and you have this equinox and all of these things happening up there in the heavens, and they do affect us. So it is a time when we're going to have lots of weird and wonderful dreams, and some of those will facilitate the shifts that we need to have in our lives or the changes we need to make. What else do we need to know, please? Yeah, that's that one. Okay. Hope, love, and acceptance. Wow, they're really shouting this out for us. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth and choose loving thoughts. All right, so this is also about speaking to ourselves, and I say this all the time. Words have power. Words are frequencies. Thoughts and words become things, whether you like it or not. All right, that is a law of the universe. And how we speak to others and how we speak to ourselves is vitally, vitally important. If you say to yourself, oh, you stupid, Don't be so ridiculous. This is never going to happen. You are actually manifesting that and you're reinforcing that. And speaking to yourself like that is not helping anybody. All right? It's degrading, it's devaluing, and you don't deserve to do that. All right? You need to be consciously catching yourself when you say that and change it to something else. If you're saying that about somebody else, catch yourself when you're saying it, say something else. I really can't stand that guy in the office. What a pain in the ass. And then say, you know what, I shouldn't be bothering myself with that. I should rather be focusing on other things. If the office life is getting to me, I should maybe be focusing on what am I going to do when I get home? What are the creative projects I'm working on? Shift your focus. Because the more you focus on that, the more it's just going to send you down a deep, dark rabbit hole that is so unproductive. There's nothing you can do about it. The person might be a bit of a pain in the ass, but the more we focus on it and hyper focus on it and allow it to aggravate us, the more it just sends us into a spiral and we're in a bad mood and we might be snappy with others too. So it's just really not worth it, okay? And it's easier said than done. Trust me, I've worked with difficult people. I've had other difficult people in my life. It's not easy to do that. But try to shift the focus. Try to say, you know what, that guy obviously has got a lot of anger, or there's something going on because he's doing this and that, the next thing. A lot of the time, people's strange behavior comes from a place where they are going through something. All right, and we don't always understand it. It's not our place to judge or presume. Just focus on yourself. Okay. Love and acceptance. Accept them. You know, we want to be accepted for who we are. We have to accept others for who they are. And it's a very difficult thing to do. They can aggravate us to our core, but that's also because we're different. And we might do things that aggravate other people. So try to choose loving thoughts, like it says, and recognize your divine worth. Focus on yourself. Focus on the light that you can give off. And also, when you are doing that, you're not going to attract people like that. Okay, that person's going to be out of your space because you're not on the frequency. You're not feeding into that nonsense. All right, do yourself that favor. What else do we need to know today, please, or for the week ahead? Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Okay, there's a lot coming up here about truth, and I automatically put it under Freya. I don't know if you realized that or if you saw that. And Freya's talking about illusions being revealed and released. Voice of truth, stand strong. Focus on your purpose. That's what I just said here. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. Like I said, you know, don't speak badly to yourself or about yourself. Be honest with people. When you're honest and you come to them honestly from a place of love and you say, this is how I really feel, or this is what I think of this, but you come in a gentle way, not an aggressive way, it can have a lot of positive benefits. There's a saying that says, you know, you can, I don't know if this is directly translated, but it says you can lure more bees with honey than you can with vinegar. And that's something that I often try to remind myself of. Okay, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. What other people think of you is none of your business. Your life is not a popularity contest. Okay, you're here to live for you. And that does not give us the right to be rude and obnoxious and presumptuous and try and enforce our beliefs on other people. But we have every right to be ourselves, to think what we want to think, and to say what we want to say, but in a loving way. We're allowed to have opinions and differences of opinions, and dress differently, and speak differently, and believe differently, and eat differently. All right, whatever you want to do, that is your truth. And you're not here to please anybody else. So this is the energy that you need to be standing in here. And this probably will facilitate these illusions being revealed. Okay, there's a beginning in every ending. If something needs to end, maybe it's even your bad eating habits, you know, whatever you're working on, it needs to end so a new cycle can begin. If a friendship needs to end so a new cycle can begin, so be it. If a mindset needs to end, that will definitely bring a shift. All right, so be honest with yourself as well. What do I need to change? What am I fooling myself about? What am I carrying on doing all the time that I'm maybe being hypocritical about? I'm pointing fingers at others and I'm not doing it. Or what do I need to change that I keep telling myself, you know, you need to start this new regime, or you need to change that thing, or you can't behave like that. Stop doing it. If you keep telling yourself that, and you know that there's something that needs correcting, now's the time to correct it. Say, hey, you've been telling yourself all the time you need to do this, you need to get to that task, but saying it is not doing it. So now it's time to do it. And if somebody doesn't like that you're going to start a new job or a new project, or you're moving in a different direction with your belief system, that doesn't matter. It's not for them to like. You don't need anyone's stamp of approval. Only your own. You need to do what you feel aligned with and what's good for you, what's working for you. All right. Are there any last messages? Oh, there we go. I thought we were going to have two. One there, one there. There they are. Okay, and I'm going to take the card from the bottom of the deck as well. And we have Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. Okay, so we touched on connections between all things, just like I was saying, there's a connection between what's going on in our psyche, in our emotions. When I was talking about anger and all of these kind of things, they can manifest in your body. We are one and the same. And eventually, when something hangs around long enough, it's going to manifest physically. That's how manifestation works. All right. But we can manifest negatively just as we manifest positively. And we can't use this excuse that we don't know that, because we do know that. If you can manifest something positively, if you can manifest yourself being healthier, you can also manifest yourself being more ill. And you need to be very mindful of where you direct your energy, especially now. Please, when we've got this kind of energy around, it's easy to manifest, but it's just as easy to manifest negative as it is to manifest positive. And it is, again, easy to say, I manifested that negative thing. Let me change my mind. So it can be undone. All right, try and catch yourself, but don't get into the habit of having to undo the negative all the time. Rather, get into the habit of just manifesting the positive, speaking the positive, doing the positive as much as possible. And none of us are perfect. If you're doing it as 5 or 10%, that's perfect. Keep going. All right. This is soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. So it's not an excuse for us to say, oh, well, we don't know how this works. We do. We know how we manifest negatively. We know that speaking badly to ourselves is not good. We know the things that we're doing that are not wholesome for us and are not putting our mind and body and spirit into a better state of being are bad for us, and we're just brushing it aside. All right, so this is a don't fool yourself card. And here it's saying divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. All right, guys, these are powerful messages for this week. Do what you feel is right is what I just said to you. Your life is not a popularity contest. But ask the divine for guidance. Don't just be driven by your ego or something that is, a very powerful force. There are powerful emotions and energies that are also low vibration, like resentment and anger and all of these kinds of things, which are powerful, and they might give us a message to, of driving to go and do something. It might make us feel inspired or driven to do something, but it might not be a very positive thing. So we have to remember that when it's high vibration, it's not going to feel urgent. It's not going to come from a place of fear. And that's when true guidance is coming through. When your guides and your guardians and your higher self are actually giving you that message, is when it's very calm and it knows what to do. Not when it wants to fly up and do something with a sense of urgency or desperation. All of those things are low vibration. So when you're feeling like that, ask yourself, where does this come from? Okay, is this feeling urgent and fearful, or is it feeling quite confident and peaceful? Because then you know where it's coming from, and you need to start managing where you take the information from, and that's going to guide you better as well. All right. So, divine order, Lady Portia. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. The lesson is within doing what we feel is right and walking our path with honesty. Okay, so very interesting and important messages here. And at the bottom, we got Horus, who is giving us a vitally important message linked to the soul expansion. Oh, and there's Odin. Just say hi to Freya. Okay, Horus, or Horus, however you pronounce it, cosmic gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. This is what I've been talking about the whole reading. There is a gateway open now. This is the equinox. Don't waste it. Don't waste it on negative stuff. Make sure that the least you do is sit for 5 minutes and sit and send out an intention. All right, be sincere about it. Feel in your body how it's going to feel when it comes about, when that wonderful thing happens, because you can't manifest without the elevated emotion that's attached to it. You have to imagine yourself there, but actually feel it. Get that excitement in your body. Your heart rate increases a little bit. Your breathing becomes a little bit faster because you're excited and you're happy because your manifestation is here. All right, you need to feel that in your chest. Otherwise, it's not going to manifest. That energy that your heart produces and that comes from that place by your solar plexus area, that is what's going to bring the manifestation into being. You are causing a cosmic reaction, if that's what you want to call it. Okay, you're changing energy around you, and that's manifestation energy. You're creating that. We are creators, and our body creates energy, and it can direct that energy, and that is how we bring things into the physical 3D. All right, so this is very important, and it's lovely when celestial bodies are helping us out, okay, like we have in the heavens at the moment with the equinox. This is the time to take advantage of that because you can manifest beautiful things. Miraculous changes are occurring. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Don't underestimate it. Don't waste it. Don't say I'll do it tomorrow. It's not going to be the equinox next week. Okay, grab it and do what you can with it today. I wish you a beautiful week further, and I'll chat to you all soon. Bye for now.